Hey students, for as much as I enjoyed going to college, I always wondered if I had more purpose in life. Maybe it was to save people from fires. Maybe it was to educate the youth, or even protect this nation's beautiful forests. However, there was definitely one route that I never wanted to go down. The military. Now, I have a multitude of different personal reasons I didn't want to join the military. First and foremost, being cannibalized by North Koreans like an A1 Wagyu steak. But being shot is also pretty high up there, alongside the 1,000-mile stare you develop after a while. Then there's also my general dislike for being told what to do, which is sort of a problem in that setting. So obviously, I'm not a huge advocate for joining the military, at least in the typical sense. See, while the Marines need crayons to eat, and the Coast Guard sit around and do nothing, they still need people to do all the very important tasks to keep everything running. So instead of being cannibalized, let's look at a few other military roles that keep you out of combat, for the most part, but still allow you to serve your nation. Medicine is important. By far one of the most critical aspects to keep any military running is keeping your comrades from being downed. As such, there are a ton of different roles within this group to accomplish this. You could be a hospital medic, a nurse, or even a mystical healer. Whether it's in your home country or in a war zone, you'll be able to help the wounded and save lives, both military and civilians. Being a medic is a tough job, but also among the most respected and rewarding. Shout out to Combat Medic GOAT Private Doss, by the way, a legendary human being. If you want to learn more about being a medic though, then join Uptick. Uptick is a community of creators and mentors offering career guidance in a safe and private environment. This summer, they're doing a career club to help students, like you, explore a ton of different careers and avenues into college and beyond. Click on the link below to sign up. Just make sure to let them know I sent you. Basically being Joe Kenda, Military Edition. When I saw this role during my research, I knew it needed to be included. A criminal investigator is basically making sure people aren't turning the Geneva Conventions into the Geneva Suggestions. However, you will also investigate soldiers for more standard crimes, like drug offenses, desertion, or even larceny. Some investigators even specialize in counterintelligence, which is basically installing NordVPN onto their computers. So while it definitely is one of the more uncommon roles, it is still incredibly important. Helping the elderly with technology. While the rest of the military is made up of a bunch of Chad alpha males, the computer programmers are the Sigmas. These are the people creating and evaluating programs to help with the military's ability to fight wars. Essentially IT, but on steroids. Computer programmers work on cyber warfare, intelligence gathering, and combat systems. So if you're more of a computer-savvy person, I bet the military is always scouring for people to fill this role. Is this a Fortnite reference? If you've ever played a milsim before, such as Squad, there's a good chance you have run into one of these guys. Civil engineers have the important role of constructing bases and structures for military use. These range from roads, to gaming cafes, to airfields. Basically the guys who make sure you have a place to sleep at night. So you may be saying to yourself, wow Josh, that sounds incredible. It sure is, friend. A teensy bit of an issue though. There's a missile bombardment headed right for your location because some nation was feeling a bit quirky. Welp, ain't that a shame. So obviously, while a great role to have, your treasure is another man's target. One of these I guess I don't even know anymore. Probably the wackiest job on this list, but also one of the coolest. Divers are responsible for carrying out underwater operations for all branches of the military. One day you may be helping with construction, the next you may be using sharks to destroy an enemy oil rig. Being a diver has a ton of variety, and decent pay. Just be wary because any job that takes place under the water is bound to have some hazards. Now, just because these are sort of non-combat roles, that doesn't make them foolproof. As with anything in life, frankly, there's always risk. But for over 1 million Americans, that risk is worth it. So sure, maybe you don't want to get shot, traumatized, or eaten, but that doesn't mean there aren't other ways to become a valued member of the US military. Anyways, that's all from me. Make sure to visit Uptick for more information about joining the military. If you did learn anything, make sure to let me know in the comments below. I'll see you students later.